thank you, everyone. My name is Andreina Vieira. I am the founder and CEO of the Vieras. We're a business management firm that specializes in back office support. We have experts in many different fields, such as accounting, marketing, administrative assistance, human resources, safety, and IT. And today I wanted to have a candid conversation about what are women really dealing with nowadays? What are the struggles? How are we being able to work and take care of our kids? We pretty much do it all. So I am working 24/7. I have my 2 kids. I even have a grandkid. And it's really difficult. Like, I am helping make lunches because my son is being doing remote learning. And I'm traveling here, doing this. Marisol is in her car. Liana's doing dishes. We are the true definition of multitaskers. So first, let me introduce you to Liana Cushy. She is the executive director of E4All Lawrence Lowell Lawrence Lola. Liana, how are you?
I'm doing good. Yes, happy to be here. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us. And we discussed about, well, should you go sit on your desk? And I'm like, no, wait, this discussion is totally about this. We're doing dishes and we're meeting via Zoom.
Right.
That's the new norm. So what have been some of the challenges that you feel have come up from this experience?
I would say, initially, when we were under a shutdown or a stay-at-home order, it was just like chaos. I have, 2 of my kids, they're young. They are 3 and, she was not yet 3 then, and a baby. And so it's just kind of them always being in the Zoom meetings and trying to juggle it. And my husband and I really just tried to separate our schedules. And I'd say that once lockdown, or not lockdown, but like the stay-at-home order, our daycare didn't open up until mid-July. And I would say probably like May and June, the first month and a half, people just like honored that you were with the kids and they wouldn't schedule things. And then it was sort of like, well, I don't mind that your kid's in it. And next thing you know, even though on your calendar, it's like, I'm with the kids, like you got 3 meetings scheduled and you're just kind of managing, putting on a little more TV than you wish you had to. But now they're back in daycare. So I feel really, since I've been through it with them not in daycare, comparatively, I feel really bad, a lot, like I have a lot more space and time.
Yeah. I feel that something good that I gained from this is that before I found myself in Boston at least 2-3 times a week. Now all that commuting time is completely gone, and I definitely feel great about it.
Yeah.
But then it just, you think you have more time, but you really don't. I don't know what happens with time.
Somehow we fill it all up.
Well, I also have here Marisol Cueto from Salon Me. She's the founder and CEO of 2 salons, one in Lawrence and one in Haverhill. Marisol, thank you so much for taking some time to talk to us. I saw you were driving, and now you are with a beautiful background. It's multitasking, right? That's what we do.
Well, if I walk in the house right now, my 1-year-old and my 4-year-old will bombard me, and I won't even be able to be on this call. So here we are. We'll sit outside and have a little call.
Great. So Marisol, tell me, what changes have you done in these past months to be able to accommodate your business and your family?
Wow, I had to definitely step into more of the entrepreneur role versus the hairstylist role, which that's what I'm accustomed to. That's what I naturally am. Is I've been a hairstylist since I was 16 years old, licensed by the age of 18. We started our businesses almost 7 years ago. We started our first one in Lawrence. And I finally have been able to transition into kind of being more in the back end of things and really building the business versus being behind the chair only, or my main focus is, taking care of my customers. So that's been a really big change. And of course, because I'm home a lot more, I really get to embrace being a mom, kind of like a full-time mom. I've never experienced it before, making breakfast, lunch, dinner, nap time, cleaning up. I mean, the whole shebang, and I'm really truly enjoying that process. So I'm very grateful for the changes that have come, just so I can experience that and be a part of my kids, their development and their growth.
Yeah.
So that's been big for me lately.
My kids are older, so I'm very thankful for that. I'm not sure how you ladies do it. Blessings for everything that you do. Liana, I have another question for you. You work with a lot of startup companies. What trends have you seen that startups are taking? I'm sure that now all these businesses, we've all had to make lots of pivots. Is there one trend that you see, particularly women, mothers, having to, pivot?
Yeah, that's a good question. I mean, I think it's a lot of it. Well, one trend I've seen, I don't know if this is a pivot, but more of like an acceptance of that, like, we need to really take care of ourselves. And I think part of that is the COVID situation. And also part of it is sort of this whole kind of realization around racial injustice. And I think particularly like women of color, mothers of color, realizing like I can only show up and be a boss lady if I also take care of myself. Like I find myself a lot of with our entrepreneurs having a lot more conversations of like, how are you doing? What are you doing to take care of yourself? In addition to like your business, your children, your all of that. And like a lot more like checking in on each other's mental health in like a way where I feel like, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, it was just like, I'm going to figure out how to do it. And now it's like, oh my God, this is really hard. So now I know I can't do it all. So let's be honest with each other about it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I've given myself permission to cry. I'm a boss lady. I can't cry. I run a household. I run a successful business. People look up to me. I'm a leader in the community. But I also cry, and it feels good. It feels like a form of just therapy to just be able to cry. And sometimes I don't even know why. I'm just like, this feels great. Because it is very stressful, but in particularly, like I have an 85-year-old grandmother. She's been sick. I'm afraid that, any one of us can bring her COVID. There's a lot of extra stress factors in our lives that we're dealing with on a regular. So Marisol, how do you deal with stress?
I mean, I love what Liani said, and I agree so very much. And I know I've mentioned this before recently, and in business, I've always been very. I have a business partner, which is also my sister, and we've just always been, all right, we're gonna get this done. We're gonna do this. We're gonna figure this one out, and we're gonna we're gonna push forward. And what we have learned for sure, and I massively, and I'm very grateful for this development, is you have to take care of yourself first and ask for help. Don't be, just like you're saying, just because you're a business owner, just because you have these opportunities does not mean you're not human, and it does not mean you don't need help. Asking for help is so humbling and so incredibly empowering to others. I've been networking with other women that can help me in areas that it would be difficult for me to take on as a task at this moment, being a stay-at-home mom 3 days a week. And they found me. Okay. So asking for help, and that's anybody, and just that's such a humbling feeling, just coming to that understanding and being okay with it and saying, hey sis, I know you're really good at this. Would you mind helping us out with this kind of task for the business? And what I've noticed that they're like, what, me, really? I'm like, yeah, you're amazing at it. Why wouldn't you be able to? And I'm empowering someone else, and I'm also allowing myself the time to really pay attention to the things that I want to pay attention to, or that I really need to pay attention to, and be here for the kids. Mm-hmm. So that's really been a huge development for me, myself, especially during COVID, and being able to run the business and be a mommy.
Yeah, which I definitely think that being able to delegate, and not in a bad way, you're gonna do this and you're gonna do that. No, but knowing people's strengths is so important. And particularly, like, for example, I say that I know a little bit about many things, but I am an expert in nothing. But that's why I have such a strong team that can help me. I'm not a CPA, but I have accountants. I am not in HR, but I have HR professionals. The other day I was talking to Safety Steve, and he's like, do you know your carbon monoxide alarm is going off? I'm like, oh, really? So, that's why you have experts. And even in your personal life, we're remodeling my son's room, and I'm not very creative, but I have friends that are. And I can simply be, this is his vision. What should I do? Let's share a Pinterest board, and let's do it, because we too often tend to be really harsh on ourselves. And I think that's the lesson that I am slowly learning in 2020, is to not be harsh on yourself. Things happen and plans always change. But as long as you have a team, you're able to just rely on them. We can't do it all, right?
No. Although we want to, we can't.
Yeah, we try. Too often we try.
Yeah.
So is there anything else that you want to share? I promise this would be short and sweet. So if there's any other things that you want to share, that tips, advice, anything that you want to get off your chest.
Well, I have one thing I just want to echo. I loved what you said, Marisol. I love what you said, Andrina. I mean, asking for help is so important. So I just want to re-emphasize that. So all the women out there, ask for help for themselves, especially the mothers. I started seeing a life coach every other week, and we do tactical tips on how I can take care of myself and help my family members, like my husband, my partner, and my stepdaughter help me take care of myself. And one thing that my husband and I just started doing, so our daycare is open up, and it's been a blessing to have the kids go off to daycare. And we were trying to think about the mornings, getting out of the house is just always chaotic, and it's very hard, who does what, who gets the food, who does that, does this. And as I was working with this coach, we came up with the idea of well, what if each one of us just has a kid and is in charge of that kid's morning? So from the food to the clothes to the everything. And once we framed it in that way, I just approach my mornings so much with less annoyance, or oh, I got to do breakfast, or it's I'm in charge of Nova, or I'm in charge of Ella, and I feel so good about just dedicating my morning to focusing on their needs. And my husband's enjoying it too. So that's one trick. If there's only two of you and only two kids, try that.
I love that. That's so awesome.
I'm huge on block scheduling.
Yeah.
In the morning, I'm gonna start saying, it's not my turn and not my responsibility. I'll see you tonight. How about you, Marisol?
Oh, I absolutely love what Liani you just said. That was so cool. We are a little outhanded. We have 3, and there's 2 of us, and my husband normally works the morning, but I guess what I'm super grateful for is the mind and being able to organize. Can you grab him? Go ahead. Organize yourself in a way that you can do a little bit of both. But I say to moms, if you are a mom and you're really passionate and you have that fire, I've been in this industry for so long, and I still have this fire and this desire. But I also have these 3 beautiful children that I want to be there for, just like my mom was there for me. And if you have that opportunity, you can make anything happen. Just ask for help. And asking for help could be so simple. It could be a coworker, it could be a friend, someone, hey, maybe they want to help babysit, and that'll free up a couple hours so you can get some work done, or whatever it may be. But definitely don't hold yourself back just because you have children, because they love to see you strive. And my favorite thing is seeing my girls play salon, and they answer the phone, thank you for calling Salon Me, and my client needs a hair done, and and for me, that just fills my heart, because I'm teaching them something that otherwise they wouldn't have been able to learn. And I get to do what I genuinely love for Marisol, but as well as their mommy, I'm teaching them. So I just feel proud. And I think we should all really listen to ourselves and our inner person and believe in her. And she always comes out. So I think that's where my advice is. And that's what I tell all my assistants and my girls on my team. It's like, girls, rock out. If you feel passionate about something, you will do well. Yeah.
That's amazing. Well, thank you so much. And you know what? Cheers to us. We're rocking it.
Yes. Thank you for
One way or
having us on here.
Yes,
Yeah.
thank you. Yes.
Thank you. All right. Well, if anyone has any questions, you can reach us at info@getaviera.com. And if you'd like to perhaps talk a little more to Marisol or Liana, I can definitely make those connections. So info@getaviera.com. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Bye.